Hello, welcome to the City of Roseville Parks and Recreation Men's Basketball Online Managers Meeting. This video is designed to provide you with all the necessary league information for the winter 2023 and 2024 season to help ensure that your team gets the most out of your season here in Roseville. My name is David Peters, and I am the Recreation Supervisor in charge of all adult sports programming, including men's basketball, here with the City of Roseville Parks and Recreation Department. I can be reached either by email or phone with any questions, comments, or feedback that you may have at any point during the season. My primary method of communication with managers will be via email or through Team Sideline. If you do not use email, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can connect with you either by phone or other means should any changes be made to our league. The league website is cityofroseville.com under adult basketball. Your basketball schedules will be linked on that site, or they can be visited directly by going to teamsideline.com/RPR. As you can see, the league pages will indicate updated standings and results for each week's games. We do encourage managers to check back often and let us know if scores were entered incorrectly so that we can make sure we keep accurate tabs on the league. Any schedule changes that are made will be posted on the league page, and managers will be messaged with any additional league updates or changes as they present themselves throughout the season. Games this season will take place at one of two locations, either at Roseville Area Middle School or Rams, as it is notated on our team's sideline page, or Central Park Community Gym, which is notated as CP on our team's sideline page. If your games are taking place at Rams, please ensure that players are entering through the Gym West doors, which is a newer addition towards the north side of the building. There are two newer courts downstairs and an older gym that you will enter through the doors on street level. At Central Park Elementary, please be sure that you are using the northwest doors. The CP West gym will be the gym to the left as you enter in, and the CP East gym will be the gym to the right. Please note that the schedule timeline will be posted on our league website. The first 2 weeks of games, or our preseason, will be posted no later than November 22nd. The third week of games, or our final week of preseason, will be posted no later than December 8th. All regular season games will be posted by December 15th. Regular season games will begin on Wednesday, December 20th, and no games will be held on Wednesday, December 27th due to the holidays. The City of Roseville Parks and Recreation Men's Basketball League utilizes a unique sliding scale system, which is comprised of a preseason, a regular season, and playoffs. Please view the flowchart on this slide for information on how our leagues are organized and put together throughout the season. Our preseason consists of teams playing at different skill levels in an effort to gauge where we will place each team for the regular season. The first 2 weeks will be scheduled based on which league you registered for and past season performance. Week 3 will be scheduled to try to tease out any anomalies that may have occurred in Week 1 to help ensure that each team gets placed in the correct league. Regular season divisions will be created based on your team's performance in the preseason, as well as your final placement from previous seasons in our adult men's basketball league. Please let me know if your team has changed significantly from the previous years. A team who is 3-0 will not necessarily be placed above a team who goes 1-2 in the preseason. Factors including the quality of opponents and margin of victory will also be taken into consideration. Regular season is generally broken down into a C, upper D, and lower D divisions. If you have a strong feeling about where your team belongs after the preseason, please contact me no later than December 14th at noon. Once our schedules have been posted on our team sideline page, teams cannot and will not be moved. Playoffs will follow our regular season, in which teams are reassigned to different brackets based on their specific league results. Playoffs should be viewed as a second season as opposed to a culmination or an extension of the regular season, as you may be playing teams you have not played before or that were in a different regular season division. Playoffs are generally broken down into a C, D1, D2, D3, and lower D playoff brackets. All players must have the same or similarly colored jersey throughout the basketball season. Numbers are also required for all players, so please do not use tape as they often sweat off during a game. Permanent marker is fine to use. Any player who does not have the same colored jersey or a number will be assessed a technical foul at the start of the game. This will be enforced at our first preseason games, so please plan accordingly. I also suggest you getting two-sided or reversible jerseys or encourage players to keep an extra numbered shirt in their bag in case teams have the same colored jersey. A good rule of thumb is to carry one light colored jersey and one dark colored jersey in your gym bag. Please try to avoid grays as those can be hard to distinguish on the court. Team managers are responsible for signing their team in prior to the start of each game each week. You can do this by checking and signing in at the scorekeeper's table at your court each week. Please note that players may not play without first signing in. Additionally, game balls are not provided by the league, so please be sure to come ready with a good game ball for your court and team each week. Team rosters are due prior to the first scheduled game, and any team that does not have a roster on file may be subject to a forfeit. With your rosters, please be sure to include your player's first and last name and a good email or phone number should an emergency or injury take place at the courts at any time during the season. Additionally, we may be doing random roster checks throughout the year, so it is imperative that you get your team rosters submitted prior to the start of your first game. In regards to game times, game time consists of running time for the first half and stoppage time for the final 2 minutes of the second half. If an overtime is needed to determine the outcome of a game, it will consist of 2 minutes with stoppage time during the final 30 seconds. Please review all of our adult sport men's basketball league rules on our team sideline page prior to the start of the season for additional information. Each court will have an assigned scorer to run the scoreboard for each game. Please have someone on your bench keep an eye on the scoreboard throughout the game to help ensure that points, the possession arrow, and fouls are all correct. Please understand that these are not professional scorekeepers and they may make a minor error from time to time. In the event that an error does take place, please kindly notify the officials so that they can chat with our scorekeepers to figure out where the discrepancy may be. Additionally, please do not yell at our scorekeepers throughout the course of the game. Dunking is allowed during games only. Please refrain from dunking during any other time. Please note that dunking during warm-ups, dead ball time, halftime, following a game, or any time when the ball is not in play will result in an immediate technical foul. This rule is required by the owners of the gyms in which we utilize, and we appreciate everyone's help and cooperation in following these rules to help ensure that we have a place to play our games during the season. Each team is required to designate a team manager prior to the start of each game. Only team managers should interact with the officials and scorekeepers, and the interactions must be respectful and take place during an appropriate time. Team managers may request clarification and may respectfully discuss a non-judgment call, but please understand that once the discussion has concluded, that is the end of the conversation. Non-team managers may not question officiating at any point during the game. Continuous complaints and comments from the bench will not be tolerated and may result in technicals, suspensions, and the potential removal from our league without a refund. Please note that the following actions will not be tolerated in our league and may result in an immediate technical, double technical, flagrant foul, or ejection from a game with or without warning. The excessive use of profanity towards an official, scorekeeper, or another player, any statement that is personal in nature about an official, scorekeeper, or an opponent, any attempt to bait, taunt, or instigate an altercation, and any attempt to physically intimidate an official, scorekeeper, or an opponent. Examples include getting in someone's face, posturing, taunting, or yelling. Please note that this is not a full list of behaviors that will result in a technical or an ejection, but hopefully give players an idea of what behaviors will not be tolerated in our league. Just because a player's actions are in response to a questionable play does not give them the right to act in an unsportsmanlike manner or act inappropriately. In the event that an ejection occurs, the team manager is required to report the ejected player's first and last name to the scorer's table without incident. The game will not be restarted until this has occurred. Any manager that does not comply will will also receive a technical and may receive additional suspensions up into removal from our league for the remainder of the season without refund. In an effort to keep good sportsmanship a main focus in our Roseville Men's Basketball League, any player receiving 3 technical fouls over the course of the season, this includes preseason, regular season, and postseason, will be suspended from the league and from any sanctioned Minnesota State basketball tournaments. Please note that this does exclude our jersey violation. All technical fouls and ejections are recorded and reported back to me each week. Chances are, if I see a technical reported on your score sheet, I'll be giving the team manager a call. So I encourage all teams to set a goal of no technical fouls or ejections throughout the course of the season. Understand that any player involved in fighting will be immediately ejected from our league. This includes, but is not limited to, kicking, throwing a punch, slapping or face pushing an opponent, grabbing or pushing a player during an altercation, and leaving the bench during an altercation except when requested by an official. This is a recreational league, and this type of behavior will not be tolerated. In the event that a fight does take place and you are ejected from our league, this could result in a permanent ban from any of our men's basketball leagues or other Roseville adult sport leagues. Please note that confrontation before or after a game, inside or outside of the courts, will also not be tolerated. All of our officials are independent contractors who hold jurisdiction over anything that happens in the gym or outside the gym as it relates to the game. Teams may reasonably expect referees to be on time, behave professionally, demonstrate good communication skills, and also hustle. It is unreasonable for teams to expect officials to get every call correct, to know every single rule, tolerate frequent complaints or verbal abuse, and tolerate comments about the official's integrity or that are personal in nature. Teams also must learn to live with the fact that referees may make calls that they do not agree with and must move on with the game. Again, this is a recreational sport league. We're out here to exercise, have fun, and to socialize. If games are ever in question, please contact our weather website that can be found on the league page or call the weather hotline by 4:30 p.m. Our weather hotline number is area code 651-792-7416. If games are canceled, all of these updates will be reflected on the league website as well as the weather hotline by 4:30 p.m. Please remember that the game time is the time that is listed on your team's schedule. Teams should be prepped and ready to play at that time. Teams with only 4 players present at game time must play with 4. If a team does not have 4 players present 10 minutes past the scheduled game time, that team will forfeit the game. Please remember, if you must forfeit your game, please contact your opponent as well as myself by phone as soon as possible. Nobody likes to show up for a game and not have a team to play, so please be respectful and courteous of one another. If your team is looking for additional players or subs, please contact me directly. From there, I can send you a copy of our free agent list and you can get in contact with any potential players. Please be sure to send me an updated roster should you add any players from our free agent list. Each regular season championship and playoff championship team will receive up to 10 shirts at the conclusion of our season. All winning teams will be contacted when the playoffs end with the form to fill out each of their team's correct t-shirt sizes. Once the shirts arrive to the Parks and Rec office here at City Hall, managers will be contacted to find a time to pick up their team's shirts. In conclusion, please remember that we want this league to be safe, well-organized, and fun, while also emphasizing good sportsmanship. Managers, I ask that you please be leaders on and off the court and encourage your teams to follow suit. Please remember that this is a recreational league and that while competition is important, we want all participants to feel safe, have fun, and exercise above all else during these winter months. Please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions, comments, or feedback that you may have throughout the entirety of the season. Finally, I want to thank you again for choosing the City of Roseville and participating in our Adult Men's Basketball League. Best of luck, and I hope to see many of you out there on the courts this winter.